James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I am excited about the show today. I'm excited about this young man that we got on and doing some incredible things. And you know what? A heart of gold, family man. I mean, very knowledgeable and a risk taker. In many lives, our lives, we don't take no risk. We don't do anything. We just stay back and wait on things to come to us. But I'm excited about this young man we got on the show, Michelle. How you doing today?
Doing good. Got a chance to meet this amazing guest a couple of weeks ago when you introduced me to him, and just had a chance to talk to him before we went live. And he's got a lot of, he has an inspiring story to share with the audience about perseverance, entrepreneurship, and change.
And that's a problem with many folks. They cannot see change. They want to do things the same way every day. I mean, and expecting a different answer or outcome. But we're going to talk about all that later. Michelle, so I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching this on, what's it, E36 TV, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble. If you're listening to it on the radio, AM 1170 Answer, which is KCBQ, the Answer out of San Diego, or if you listen to it on K-Sky in Dallas, that's AM 660, the Answer. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching this on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Michelle, I can't take it no longer. Can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely magnificent guest.
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show, audience, is called Your Next Move, How to Cope with the Pain of Change. And we're having a sit-down conversation with Carlos Encarnacion. He's an entrepreneur, co-founder, and principal at Alliance Multifamily Group. He's going to discuss his real estate journey from one rental to almost 500 units today, the mindset changes mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually to allow your next move, and the emotional stages of change. He's going to break it down for us. So Carlos Encarnacion is again, co-founder and principal at Alliance Multifamily Group. He is responsible for leading the execution of the company's strategies to provide value-add apartment buildings to our investors and deliver high-quality housing to residents. He currently owns 72-unit apartment complexes in Waco, Texas, 180 apartment unit in Temple, Texas, and a 214-unit apartment complex in Hurst, Texas, along with other investors. And he's also an equity partner on a 192-unit Class B apartment complex in San Antonio, Texas. His goal is to control over 4,000 apartment units by year 2030. He is a professional engineer in the states of Texas and has more than 21 years of construction and real estate experience. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Carlos Encarnacion to the show.
How you doing, Carlos? Welcome to the show, my friend.
Miguel and James, for the introduction. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the conversation today, so I'm excited.
We're looking forward to having you on the show. I know I've been bothering you for about the last month or two about getting you on, but your story is so incredible, and the things that you are doing is so incredible because you are helping a lot of folks out, not just people that having a place to stay, but jobs, creation, the whole 9 yards, and so I commend you, my friend. I commend you. Because I'm going to start off like this. Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you, where you was born, where you were raised, or what triggers you, and how what excites you so much that you sent 4,000 apartment complex
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
2030. So
Yeah.
can you let our audience and viewers know a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. Carlos Encarnacion, that's my name, and I was born in the Dominican Republic. That's in the Caribbean down there. I was born and raised there pretty much. I came out of there when I was 21. But when I was 12, I wanted to share this story because it's so powerful as far as my parents. When I was 12, my dad decided to go to Puerto Rico because there was an opportunity there to work in the fields and be able to become a resident alien. Puerto Rico, as everybody knows, is part of U.S. territory. So he decided to go there when I was 12, and he was working the fields. And about 3 years later, he became a U.S. resident. You know, what that was going to do was he started doing all the paperwork so that my mom and the rest of the family. I have two sisters. They're younger than me. One is 2 years younger. The other one is 4 years younger. So he was working there so that he could make us U.S. residents as well. But the process took about 10 years. You know, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that process can take up to 10 years. So from when I was 12, when he left, I was able to get my residence when I was 21. So he was pretty much out of the house for almost 10 years. Um, he had the opportunity on the second year he left to be able to come visit us, you know, every year, and that was a blessing to us. But I definitely want to thank my mom and dad for that sacrifice that they did, you know, because being away from him for almost 10 years so that we could become U.S. residents, that was a blessing for us that we can, you know, we're taking advantage of today. A big sacrifice there. But anyway, that's how it happened. We came out of the Dominican Republic in '95, went to Puerto Rico for 5 years. me and my mom and my two sisters, and stayed there for 5 years. I went to school there for a bachelor's degree in Puerto Rico, became an engineer. And then in 2000, I was ready to go to Purdue to pursue like a master's degree in civil engineering. But then I met my wife. And all that kind of, I had to cancel all that. I fell in love, and I said, no, screw that. I'm not going to Purdue anymore. But I'm going to stay in Puerto Rico a little longer. So, we married there in 98 or 99. Yeah, I think, 99 actually. And then we came to the United States in 2000. Me and her, no family. We went to Louisiana. That was the first state that we visited. I knew a little bit of English from the DR, but Louisiana, it's like another world. They got another language there. So I had to kind of relearn the language and learn all the slangs and everything else. Plus, I was a field engineer working for this big construction company. So a lot of the guys, in the field, they speak, the way they speak in Louisiana. You know how they speak. Very difficult to understand, but like 6 months later, I was speaking just like them, and and then stayed there about a year. It was a great experience, great people. We had great neighbors. The lady used to cook bread and bring us bread on Sundays. We're like, how is this happening? Because we never experienced that kind of neighbors in Puerto Rico or anywhere else. But anyway,
that's that Southern hospitality.
That's what it is. That's what it is. But anyway, we experienced that. We had our first child there, Carlos Jr., Carlos Roberto, actually, first child there. And then this company is a construction company. They do highways and bridges all over the United States. So in 2001, they decided to move us to Iowa. So we went to Iowa for a year. Then from there, we went to Nebraska. I spent 5 years there. We had another son there in Nebraska, Josue. He's 17 today. And then we went to Texas, and that's where our youngest and last one. We got 4 boys.
John
Paul, JP. Yeah, he's 14 today, but he's something else.
Hold that thought. We're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna dive off into the conversation. We got so much that we're gonna cover. So if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you are watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. And I tell you what, our first segment is always about getting a chance to know the guests. And I know Carlos. He's my personal trainer. I mean, I worked out with him every day. I mean, chat with him. That's an absolutely fantastic man. And as you see, he was a fantastic family man. Four sons, a lovely wife. And as you can see, the passion in him right now. But, I want to delve into the topic of today is how to cope with the pain of change, because we mentioned change. A lot of people, I ain't doing that. I'm stable. I'm not doing anything. And a lot of times, Carlos, I believe when our mindset is hit and we say we got to change some of the things that we are doing in order for us to reach our goal or our vision. A lot of people won't follow us. I mean, is it your friends or family or whatever? They like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you no more because you're kind of like the crab bucket syndrome. You're going to stay down here with me. Why did you choose that title, How to Cope with the Pain of Change? Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, James. The reason why I chose that topic is because I think, I went through some changes, big changes. And when I was in the middle of the change, I didn't know how to handle some of the stuff that I went through. Had I had maybe the information in some of the research and some of the studies that have been done in the past and use that as a tool to be able to cope with the changes, maybe I wouldn't have had all the pain that I went through. So that's why I wanted to share this information so that if somebody's going through a big transformation, through a big, like trying to go from point A to point B, and that change is going to be a big change, then there are tools out there that you can use and also understand where you are emotionally, where you are spiritually, where you are mentally, in those stages, so that you can cope with the change.
So, Carlos, how important is it not to despair when you're going through change? I mean, change can mean anything, but some people don't know how to handle it, especially when they feel overwhelmed. So can you kind of talk about that and your experience with it?
Yeah. So, you just got to understand that, the change is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You're going to go through situations that, they're not going to feel comfortable. You're going to be like, why did I get into this? You're going to start questioning yourself. Maybe I should go back, to where I was before. Maybe I shouldn't have thought about, doing this. All these thoughts and they're going to come to your mind, but you just got to stay at it. You got to stay at it until you become kind of comfortable with the situation and start finding solutions to the problems that are arising at the moment, and then keep going. And sooner or, sometimes a little later, sooner or later, you're going to find out that what was uncomfortable maybe 3 weeks ago is not as uncomfortable anymore, because you've been resilient, you've been keeping at it and not giving up. So to kind of summarize that, you just pretty much got to go with the pain. There's going to be some pain, and you need to accept that, and then keep working at it until it starts getting easier. And I don't know if that answers your question there, but I'm gonna give you some examples on some of the stuff that we went through, our real estate journey and all that, and then you'll
Yes.
see better what I'm trying to say here.
So, Carlos, yeah, let's talk about that one. I know in the write up that you had sent, it was incredible. I'm telling you. I done had about 800 guests on the show, and none of them was that precise, like what you explained your story. You mentioned that you never thought that you would own a property, even though you and your wife you wanted to own a home. Can you tell our viewers and listeners how that got started? I believe in the write up, it was Nebraska or somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. Can you
Yeah.
talk about that one because that is so important to dream and to believe, and especially if you got a partner that believe in you and you guys going to do it. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I think it's almost, I would say almost every couple's dream to have a home once they get married. But we got married in '99, me and my wife Yvette, Maria Yvette, and but we were not able to purchase a home until 2009 for many reasons. We just we didn't know the system, then we misused our credit, used it the wrong way, and then you pay the consequences, and then you got to fix your credit and all that stuff. I went through all that. Anyway, it took us about 10 years to buy our first home. And then the same day we signed the contract to own the home, that same day, and some people don't believe this because, how is it going to happen on the same day that you sign your contract? Well, it did. The same day, I got a call from the construction company saying that I was being relocated to Louisiana to start a job there because I was an engineer, superintendent, and every other year we used to go to wherever the job was. So that same day, they say, hey, you got to go somewhere else. So I left the house, they told me that, and then maybe about a month and a half, I had to move out of the house. My wife and at that time, Josue and Carlos and Jamal, they stayed with her mom there at the house. But I went there for an assignment for about a year. So myself, I left the house only 3 months. And then a year later, we got transferred to Texas, and that's where we are today. Then my wife and kids, they moved to Texas with me. And then we rented that house. We rented that house to like a property management company. We gave it to them, and they started renting it. And then we're like, okay, the house is being paid off. All these years we haven't been living in it, so we actually got a rental house. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, we got a rental house, and then we're like, oh yeah, let's go after another one because it looks like this can actually work. So we bought our second house, or we bought our house when we came here to Texas, and then we bought a house in 2014, like a second rental that we wanted to get. But that was a big mistake because we bought it in the wrong location. We bought it in the hood, just to give you some terms there. Maybe you're not familiar. 287 and Miller there, very bad location. We went there and I didn't know anything about being a landlord, so bought the house, renovated the house, and then I rented the house. But because I didn't know anything about being a landlord, I wasn't screening the tenants, making sure I was getting the right people in the house. I had to evict 3 families in 1 year.
Yeah, so you had to. What can you tell me when it came to you about the apartments when you bought one, and then next thing you know you had 10 or 15, then you bought 82 and all this other type of stuff. Can you explain to your mindset when that hit you that I can do this. I can see vision. I can see a lot of things. Uh, I want to do this. I don't know if I have the means right now or whatever, but I believe that I can do it. Can you tell us about the journey a little bit when you first decided that this is what you're going to do for as apartments and et cetera, bringing in investors? Because everybody can't bring in those investors because they just gonna be real with you, they ain't smart enough. They don't know how to do it, and there's a lot of rules and regulations as relate to that. So when did you know that uh, buying apartments and apartment complex and all of that, starting from one, that's what you was here to do?
Absolutely. So after I bought that first rental, that I had to big three families out of it, and then I ended up selling the house for a loss. I lost about $50,000. I lost because I renovated the property and then I rented it out, and then I had to sell it way under for what I bought it for, plus the renovation money that I put in it. So I lost about $50,000. So there was a hit there that absolutely was in my mind. I'm not made for this. I'm not made for real estate. So I'm gonna kind of keep focusing on my engineering, because at that point I had quit uh, my job that I had for 15 years, and I started an engineering company in 2015. So the company was doing very well, and I was, saving some money. But I was, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I failed at this one rental, so I'm not sure if I want to do this again. But I just kept on working and saving money. And one day I just went and did an inspection on an Aplex. And then when I went there, the guy said, "Hey, I'm trying to sell these, but the buyers, they're trying to lowball me. And I don't think I'm going to sell it to them." And that's when, out of nowhere, because I wasn't looking for an Aplex or anything like that. I don't know where I just, told the seller, or the owner of the Aplex, I told him, "Hey, if that transaction doesn't go through, I'm going to buy this Aplex from you, and then I want you to seller finance it for me. I'm going to give you $150K down payment, and then if you finance the other 500, then I'll buy it for you." And then that was a Monday, and then the guy called me on a Wednesday and said, "Yeah, we're going to do it." And that's how I got it. I wasn't looking for an Aplex, but at the same time, I was saving money so that I could be ready for the opportunity when the opportunity showed up. I didn't know where it was going to come from. I was actually getting ready to build a small strip mall, like a 4 or 5 unit strip mall in a piece of land that I bought. So, but when the Aplex opportunity came in, I dropped all that. I lost like $30,000 that I put in permits and stuff like that. I dropped all that off and say, "Hey, this is already built. This is producing money, so I'm going to go after this." So
Wow.
that's how I got into the Aplex.
So Aplex. And how did you get in? I know your next transaction, you and your business partners.
Was a 72 unit.
The 82? Was it 82?
72 unit in Waco.
How did you work? How did you figure out that, wow, I'm gonna do this, even though you wasn't in Waco and you was here? That was a great opportunity for you and investors to understand. I tell you what, we got to take a station break. I'm off into this.
Right.
I almost missed the break, and my executive producer is going to beat me up. Yeah, so
Boing.
so we're going to take a station break, and the executive producer is Dr. Michelle Cooley. We're going to take a station break, but I tell you what, this is absolutely extraordinary. And if you want to be part of the conversation, you listen to us on or watching us on over 82 different platforms. I can see the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers. You want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform, go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Let's go. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be on it, to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And I tell you, as you see, I'm thrilled to have this entrepreneur, this businessman, this father, husband, and everything that goes into that. Because, if we want to be successful at anything, we have to change our mindset. Our mindset had to change, where the light comes on every now and then. We see the vision. I think with my friend Carlos, as he was experiencing certain things, the light came on. He saw opportunities, and he took advantage of these opportunities. Sometimes we take opportunities and we don't always win immediately. But if we lay down and quit, well, you're not going to win at all. So Carlos, as I was saying in the last segment, when you and your partners decide the Waco thing, did a light come on and say, I can do this in multiple cities and multiple states? Can you talk to our viewers about that?
Absolutely, James. So when we went, we had our 8 unit, and then I had this friend of mine that I've known for 16 years, and he had the same vision, the same ambitions, and we decided to partner. See, when you're trying to do something bigger, you can't no longer think that you're going to do it on your own. You're going to require a team, of people, some partners, some people that are going to help you. and then you're gonna have to share, the wins with that team. And I was very fortunate to find Sandeep Nalagula. He used to work for the same company I work for, so we partnered and decided to go after a 36 unit. But that was in 2019, and right when we were in the middle of signing contract, our offer got accepted and everything else. That's when COVID hit. So all lenders withdrew. Lenders withdrew, and then I already had an offer in it. We had $35,000 earnest money in the deal. So because the lender backed out, we had to cancel the contract. So we lost the earnest money of $35,000, and that was a big hit, but we didn't get discouraged. We're like, if this didn't work, I know there's going to be other opportunities out there that we'll be able to pursue. And the thing is, trying to go from a smaller 8 unit to a 32 unit to a 72 unit. The brokers out there, if you've never done a bigger deal, they're not gonna waste their time with you, because you don't have any experience, and they typically deal. There's a lot of people looking for apartments, and a lot of people doing trades on apartments, but they already done 3 or 4 or 5 deals. The brokers are busy with those people, not with the newbies. So we kept on knocking on doors, trying to find deals and all that, until we find this one guy, this broker, that say, yeah, I got a 72 unit in Waco, that if you guys want to go look at it. So we did that, and we were able to purchase that. Me and my partner, while working on my engineering business and saving some money, he put half of the down payment, I put the other half, and then we went and bought that 72 unit in Waco. Only me and him, no syndication. We didn't get any other partners. We'll talk about the other 2 quickly, because on those we had to raise money because we ran out of our capital, but we wanted to get more, so we had to go raise some money. And no experience raising money, we were able to raise $7.5 million in one deal, and then almost $10 million on the last deal in 2022.
Most people don't know how to go about. You saying without experience, but how do you figure out how to go about and raise money through venture capitalists? And a lot of people that listen to this, they probably don't even know what that is. And bringing in other investors that understand your vision, understand it, and know that there is potential profits, money, where everybody gonna get their money back.
On the first deal, the one in Hearst, the 214 unit we bought in 2022, there was a guy there that he's raised money like 10 times already. So we were sponsors of the deal, but we had a main sponsor that was taking us through the process. So we kind of learned from him as we did it there. It was a team. I was a general partner. Sandy was a general partner, and then this guy that had prior experience, he was the one leading on raising the money. Pretty much, you just go after 5 or 6 different guys that they got their own network of people, and they raise a portion. Each of them, 5 or 6, each of them raised a portion of the money, and then they become, partners in the deal as well, based on the amount that they're able to raise.
And we're looking at in this, you saying in one of the deals that you was able to get a venture capitalist or partners to help raise $22 million, $32 million project. They helped you guys raise this. Mind-boggling, because they always gonna check us out, right? So everything about to make sure that we legit. When they find out that you legit and there is positive things that's going on, people help you out. What would you tell our listeners out there about a positive attitude making sure you maintain your credit, making sure that you don't know where God is going to lead you doing the next step. But you just have to be honest and truthful to yourself and always follow that path, and everything else will take care of itself. Because when people see you and they understand you, and they know that you honest and truthful, uh, everybody want the same goals, but they will help you with the goals when they know that you are just like them. I'm talking about honest, trustworthy, want to make money, and etc. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So before I get into that, I want to tell you what happened with the last raise. 7.5 million on the property in Temple, Texas. We had raised about five and a quarter, but we were almost 3 days left before. These were our last 3 days that we had in the contract, because we had extended the contract 3 times already with penalties and everything else. But the seller said if we cannot close on September 15th, then we were going to lose pretty much all the money that we put in the deal. The reason being is because the market was so hot when we were purchasing these properties that the money went hard, meaning that in a regular market, the money will go to a title company and it stays there until the transaction closes. But in hot markets where there's a lot of demand for apartments, there could be occasions where the money will go hard, meaning that the money will go from the title company, stay there for a few days, and then it goes directly to the owner. So if the transaction doesn't close, you pretty much lose that money. So we were going to lose all that money that we have already put as earnest money, which was almost like $1.5 million of earnest money for this property. And we only had 3 days. And that's when I gave up. I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. I just started, praying about the situation, because I no longer was able to understand where the money was going to come from in this short period of time. So my wife was praying for me. Everybody was praying for me. I was praying myself. And then a miracle happened. Like in the last day and a half, guy out of California put $1.5 million in the deal. He's never personally met us, but he heard about the team, that we were a good team. So he brought $1.5 million. Then we found another guy that was able to put $640,000, and we closed just on time. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. You just keep on doing what you're doing. Keep persisting. Keep being resilient. And things in the end are gonna come out if you keep on fighting. You can just not quit, especially when you got so much money, already in the title company that goes hard to the seller. We would have lost.
Hey, hold that thought. I want to hold that thought. Don't lose hope, because that's so important. And when we come back, I want to bring that up. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. When we lose hope and throw our hands up in the air and say, I quit, when you quit, you turn your head to a different direction, and punch is just going to hit you all in the face. When you don't lose hope completely, things happen. I tell you what, we're going to take a station break. We're going to come back, and I want to talk about attitude, in the ACE program. Attitude, commitment, and enthusiasm. Here we go.
A stands for attitude, commitment, and enthusiasm. Let's talk about the A, attitude. A lot of times we are confronted with things or in situations, and we often react because we're not, for one thing, walking around with the right attitude where we get an opportunity to think. Attitude will make or break you. Most of the time, the first thing, depending on where you're at with your attitude, you want to react. You want to hit. You want to say something. You want to do the first thing that come to your mind. We all have this split second where we can think about it. Somebody bump into you or said something, we can think about it. I need to dream big, think big, and be big. Be big is not in statue. It's in heart and it's in mind. You don't always have to react when you're confronted with a negative situation. Let me talk about the C.
In this life you are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you're created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. Oh yeah. It's the 4 C's.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life and I. Michelle, I don't know about you, but I am thoroughly enjoying this guest right here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, entrepreneurship is not an easy path. It really isn't. And you have to have the stamina and the determination and late nights and do what you have to do in order to make your vision come to pass. It is not an easy thing. It's not a 9 to 5.
It's not 9 to 5, and thing that he just brought up, because you know how we've been doing with our business and all that. Sometimes we just want to say, okay, I don't want to have nothing else to do with this. I quit. I don't say that though. I mean, I quit because hope, as we talk about hope. We talk about the 4 C's: create, collaborate, commit with confidence. We talk about birthrights: confidence, courage, hope, believe. Most importantly, faith. Everything's centered around hope. Hope. If we lose focus on that, then we want to throw the towel in. And so where I'm going with this, Carlos, is at the end of the last segment, you had mentioned that you thought temporarily that you did not have nothing. Everybody was praying. God is always there. And I'm talking about especially when if long as you maintain hope, I believe things will happen. And so I want to pick it back up on that. You were saying the wife was praying, family members praying, and then certain things in prayer, I believe it happens. So can you pick it back up on that one, Carlos?
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I felt, like when I was at that bottom, pretty much, we prayed, my wife prayed, for the situation. And then I felt at peace. I felt at peace, and I knew everything was going to come through. I just didn't know how, and sometimes you do the best you can, and you don't have to have that answer. Or how is it going to really happen? As long as you don't lose that hope and you've done everything you can, then you just got to keep believing that it's going to happen. And that's what happened. I mean, I didn't do anything else. It just, out of nowhere, these 2 investors came out of the blue. I'm being honest. I mean, of course, these guys know some of the GPs, but I didn't know them personally. You know, they call, and it was something that happened with so, easiness. And I'm like, this was a miracle. It happened like that. We were short
It's
almost $2 million.
miracle, and things just happen. But then when it happens, I'm asked, then you refocus and say, I can even do even more than this. Case in point, the 287 units that you guys are developing right now. Um, I forgot where it's at, but your goal, at least what you said, was by 2030, with the right mindset, with the right understanding, with the right vision of knowing that you're gonna have 4,000, hopefully by 2030. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners out here that's like, how you gonna do that? Uh, right now, you you sitting at uh, 500 or 600. How you gonna have 4,000? Can you explain that vision and that understanding to our viewers? Because if you can see it here, you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the people, your partners, your business partners, everybody, family. Like, can you talk about that a little bit, Carlos?
Absolutely. Yeah, so 4,000 units, that equates to 800 units a year. Then, if you break that into quarters, you got to get about 200 units every quarter. That's the goal. And how we're going to get that? We already got a base of investors, that have invested in these last two deals with us. But we also got other people that we're going to pursue, like in, out of state investors like California, Florida, um, that we're gonna show them our business plan, and then show them how they're gonna benefit from investing with us. But it's pretty much it's just breaking it from a 4,000, breaking it into how much it's gonna be per year, which is 800, and then 200 a quarter. That's what we're shooting after. We already got the brokers relationship, the lending relationships. We just got to go out there and find the capital.
For people that are listening to the show today that might be intrigued, I'm talking about potential investors. How can they get in touch with you and your uh, BPs, business partners, to get an understanding that, hey, if I want to do this, how can I get in touch with you, Carlos, or your business partners to see if this is a fit for me?
Absolutely. Alliance Syndication, alliancesyndication.com. If you go to that website, there's a calendar there that you can schedule an appointment, with us. Then we'll go over the planning, how to become a passive investor, or how to be an active, like a general partner investor type of deal. Um, that's pretty much it. Alliancesyndication.com. There you'll see what we've done so far, our goal, where we're headed, and then you can schedule an appointment with us there.
Wow. And I just want to, first of all, I got to acknowledge uh, Case Guy, AM 660 in Dallas, where they picked us up like 3 weeks ago. I'm just so honored to become part, or you guys become part of the JC Cooley family. AM 1170, FM 96.1, all of that in San Diego, honored. And all of the different platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. We all are just so excited to be a part of the network. And as Carlos is saying, can you give them that uh, address again? If you can send it to me, we'll make sure that we publish it on this network.
I'm gonna type it on the chat here for you.
And Carlos, man, I got it. This has been such an incredible interview, and the understanding of you can start with one house or one apartment, go to 5 or 600, vision 4,000. But it takes a required understanding that sometimes our mindset have to change in
That's
order
right.
for us to do that. Sometimes we're gonna fall, but we got to get back up, but we can't quit.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Carlos,
James,
closing.
I wanted, if I had a minute, maybe I wanted to kind of discuss the different emotional stages that you go through because I didn't have this information. I didn't have this information when I was going through all these changes. And I think if you understand that this is a tool that you can use to kind of, go through that process more easily, then, I want to share that with everybody here.
You got at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. So the stages, the first one is uninformed optimism, meaning that you're optimistic, you're just excited about the idea, you want to do the change, but you don't have all the information in your hands. So you're all excited, you want to do it, you don't know how, but you're just so excited that you think you can do it. Okay, that's one stage there when you start on that change journey. The second one is informed pessimism, meaning that you start studying the situation and you find that the thing is not as easy as you thought it was going to be. So you start finding roadblocks, and then you're like, I'm not sure if I want to do this. You start questioning yourself. You go through that stage where you start questioning. That's if I would have known that is normal, then I would have been in peace with myself. That's part of your emotional journey that you're going to go through. You need to understand that. So, and then the stage after that is the valley of despair, where you lost hope. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to do, what you thought, what you said you were going to do. You don't want to do it anymore. That's the worst, but you want to get out of there as soon as possible, understanding that, that's part of the process. You need to jump out of there and not stay there too long. And then it's like, and then the next stage is like when you start seeing like a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Type of deal. That's the informed optimism. And then in the end, you got success. So that's that curve that you go through every time you go through change.
Wow, that's incredible. I tell you what, Carlos, I would love to have you back on the show again. That was so educational, and your story and everything that you're doing is so informative. So I want to thank you so much, my friend, for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to come on the James Cooley Show. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I have to thank our viewers and our listeners all around the world for tuning in to our show. One thing I always want to leave the viewers and listeners is always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.